process automation, what, why, when, and how. And in this way, we will enrich about certain things about the process automation. So, madam, please carry on the lecture, and we'll learn a lot. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Pal. So I'll just share my screen if you can acknowledge after it's visible to you.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. We are able to see. We are seeing your screen. Please, ma'am.
Okay. And can you see the slides changing now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. So thank you so much, Dr. Pal, for the acknowledgement. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Madhushi Verma, as already introduced by Dr. Pal. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science Engineering at Bennett University. Before I begin, I would like to thank the management and especially Dr. Pal for giving me this opportunity, for hosting such a wonderful FDP and giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts about this tech, which is called robotic process automation. So I hope in the next 1.5 hours that I be with you, I'll be able to share some important things and concepts about RPA, which might help you in using RPA in whatever domain you are working. So I would like to begin by stating that the idea of the talk today is to talk about what, why, where, and how robotic process automation is important, and what are the concepts of RPA and how they can be used. So the today's topics that I'm going to cover up would be, first of all, I would like to introduce you to RPA and like what is the definition of RPA. There are a lot of misconceptions about RPA, so I would like to focus on exactly what the definition of RPA is. Next, I'm going to talk about why use RPA, like what are the advantages and why we need to actually make use of this technology in today's era. Third, I'm going to talk about where we can use RPA, because it is, once we know that why we need to use it, we also need to analyze that what are the possible areas or what are the possible, modules in our work or in our domain where we can make use of RPA. Next is about how to use RPA. So how to use this technology, what are the application, what are the tools available that will help you to actually use the concept of robotic process automation. So that I'm going to talk about next. And then I'll show you an example, which is a kind of bot running on my system. So I have a quick video of that. So I'll show you a bot, an example, how it is working. And then some practice tasks. So I'll give you some pointers to how you can further, practice about the concepts of RPA by looking at a few examples, which are all available on the digital media. So in the pool of information that we have over this digital media today, a lot of information is already available about RPA. So before I start with the first topic, which is what is RPA, the question that I have here in front of you is, in today's era where we try to nourish our skills, we try to improve our digital skills, all of us have some skills in our skill set. So we every now and then we are trying to add on new skills to our skill set, and we are also trying to improve the existing skills that we have. And all these efforts that we do right from our childhood till our young age, when we are working, when we are earning, when we are doing some job, or we are participating in some organization, so we put in a lot of efforts, we do a lot of hard work. And what is the end output, what is the end outcome that we are expecting out of so much of hard work that we put in throughout our life? So end of the day, if we are working in an office or we are working in an industry where we are doing some mundane task and we are not actually using our intelligence or our knowledge in gaining some beneficial outcomes, then the entire journey that we have spent from our since our childhood till date in putting in all the hard work and efforts to earn some knowledge or gather some knowledge goes into waste. So are we actually made to do these mundane tasks which is not using the human intelligence? So the answer to it is actually no. We are human beings, and the objective of our learning is to use our human intelligence for solving problems, for looking around us, looking around the environment which is prevailing around us, analyze the societal needs, and work towards, developing solutions for solving the societal needs through the human intelligence, and use our knowledge for doing something beneficial instead of wasting that knowledge by doing some mundane task which can be done by machines also. So the exact difference, between a human being and a robot would be what? That machine or a bot can do something which it has been programmed to do. So if I am doing a repetitive task, I can always program a bot to do that repetitive task, and then I can use my human intelligence to interfere in between and make decisions or take, actions wherever required, where the human intelligence is required, which is not, which cannot be done by the machine. The machine can do only what it has been programmed to do. It does not have any sort of intelligence or cognitive capability of its own, and that is what differentiates a human being from the machine. So RPA is basically a technology which is, to monitor and control the production as well as delivery of products and services in an organization. We can make use of automated bots, or bots which are going to perform automatically, instead of, involving human beings for doing tasks which are completely repetitive in nature, which are, absolutely mundane tasks which does not require any sort of intelligence. So the term RPA actually stands for robotic process automation, and each of the word actually makes sense towards the, contribution that this technology is making. The first one is the word robotic. Robotic means an entity which can mimic the human behavior. So whenever we program a bot, it is a human being which is programming the bot, and the objective is that the bot should be able to perform in a similar way like a human being is doing. So even if I am doing a repetitive task in my office, that task is to be done in a similar way by the bot. So robotic means an entity which has been programmed or which has the capability to mimic the human behavior and perform in a similar manner the way a human being can do. Second term is process. So process is a term which, a lot of us might be knowing about, because it is a very general term which we use in our daily life in a lot of courses, especially in CSE courses. Process is a very common term. It has got a technical meaning. So what is a process? It is a kind of, a set of steps, or I can say a sequence of steps, which when executed helps in achieving or performing a meaningful task. So in order to achieve an activity or execute an activity, we design a set of steps, we design a set of processes, and those sequence of steps, when performed in appropriate manner, it will help us to generate a particular outcome, a desired outcome, and perform a particular task. The third term that we have in this entire, definition, robotic process automation, is the term automation. And what is meant by automation? Basically, when we are performing a task without any sort of human intervention, and a task which has been once set to begin and it will end when it has reached its limit or when it has reached its deadline or something like that, it is called automation, where we are asking a particular machine to act automatically without requiring any sort of human support. So that is the meaning of automation. And these are the three terms which are important in the, the title of this technology, which is robotic process automation, because the idea is to develop a bot which can perform or which can execute a process in a similar way like a human beings can do, and it can perform the steps in an automated manner. That is, once programmed, it will not require any sort of human intervention every now and then to do the task which it has been programmed to perform. Next, I'm going to talk about what is RPA. So basically, there is a lot of misconception about RPA, that it is a physical robot that we develop and something like that. But a physical robot is entirely different from RPA. RPA is not a physical robot. It is a kind of software bot. It is a kind of configurable software which actually sits, you can say, on top of the company's IT, and it helps in managing a lot of tasks which a company or an organization or industry is performing on a day-to-day basis. So basically, the misconception is that if I am studying about or if I'm exploring more about RPA, then I'll be able to develop a physical bot. No, it is not a physical bot that we are talking about here. It is a kind of technology that helps us in developing software bots. So software bots means it is an automated software which is going to help you in performing some tasks which are repetitive in nature, which does not require any sort of human intelligence, which once programmed can be executed without any sort of human intervention. And when we design such a bot and we actually deploy it in some company or an industry where it is using the IT features and it helps in executing the desired task, that is what RPA is all about. So basically, we are going to program bots, and it is a kind of software which will help you to perform a particular task. Hence we are calling it to be a bot, and it is a software bot, and it has to be programmed, it has to be designed. Of course, designing and programming would require human intervention, but once designed and programmed, further, once it is deployed, it might not require any sort of human intervention unless and until some decision making is to be done at some X point or Y point in the flow of the task that has been given to the bot. So the next question that arises is, what is a bot? So as I said, a bot is nothing but it is a kind of configurable software which works according to the instructions which is given to the bot. So we can always, like we write algorithms, we design the steps of a particular task, that if I execute some XYZ steps, I'll be able to achieve a complete task. So similarly, a bot can be programmed by giving, the rules of operation. This is how you need to operate, or by giving a proper design of the plan, like this is the step 1, this is the step 2, and this is the step 3, and so on. So we can actually design our bot in a way that we want it to function. There are certain features which are very unique about the bot, which helps in overcoming the kind of disadvantages which come into existence when a human being is doing those repetitive or the mundane tasks. So the first one is automated application used to perform simple and repetitive tasks that would be time consuming. So when there is a repetitive task, say for example, maintaining a record of the inventory where the, a lot of items are coming into that unit or to that industry from morning to evening. So there is a human being sitting at the desk and doing all the entry of the, inventory. So once the entry is done, we need to feed it in the Excel sheet and we need to maintain a record of it. So something like that, or maybe some record which is to be fetched from the Excel sheet and we need to do some evaluation on a day-to-day basis. So tasks which are repetitive in nature, which is not requiring any sort of human intelligence, but it is time consuming on the part of the human being. So we can reduce the efforts of the human being in doing that mundane task, and we can actually design a bot for doing it. And when a bot does that task, the task will be performed in a more accurate and efficient manner, because once it is automated, the bot will take less time to do that task. That is one part of it. The second part of it, the chances of making errors, that the human errors, will also be reduced. So therefore, when the repetitive tasks are assigned to the bots, they do it in a much efficient manner. And of course, the amount of time is also less. The amount of time required is also less. Next is that it is a software program. Of course, I have already stated that it is a software program. We actually design it. We design a bot, and it is designed in such a way that it can mimic the human action. So say, for example, if a person is doing some XYZ activities, so the bot would be designed in a similar way that it would be able to imitate the same activities and will do it in a similar manner like the human being was doing that activity. Next is that it can run 24/7 into 365, which means that it can run for long hours without having, to take a break. There is no requirement for the bot to take a break. It can keep on going. Like our computer system, there are so many servers which are running for years. We need not to stop them, so it keeps on working. So again, bot is also a machine. It can keep on running for very, very long time, and it can do the required task without making any errors, because once it has been designed, it is similar to a calculator, where you do a calculation, and if you feed in the same numbers again and again, it will give you the same result. So there is no chance of making the mistake. Similarly, if a bot has been programmed to do a certain set of steps, execute a task, it will keep on doing it, and there is no chance of making an error unless and until there is some sort of issue which has come in terms of input that has been provided to it, and so on. So otherwise, it is a machine. It is a, you can say, an automated software which does not have the disadvantages of which the human being might face while doing a particular task, which is lengthy, which is time consuming, which does not require any intelligence, but which does of course require some concentration so that the errors are not made in doing that task. The last one is that there are some bots which run automatically while the others run on the basis of